Broncos, Eagles, 21-17 loss the Eagles have. Let's talk about it. Let's start with the defense. I thought the defense played well for 3 quarters. 3 quarters of football, the defense was able to stop the Broncos offense, especially what they tried to do. They were trying to attack us in the passing game. Quinyon Mitchell held up, Keely Ringo held up. Our linebackers held up in coverage, and we got enough pressure. Did get the Zadarius Smith TE stunt sack, which was good, but we had enough pressure in order to get to Bo Nix's timing and also confusing him in the coverage. But the Broncos were also hurting themselves a lot with a lot of penalties in the first 3 quarters. So it made it look like we were doing better than what we were, because they were actually running the ball with success, but ended up behind the sticks because of penalties. And then late in the third quarter is when everything changed. What changed was they stopped making those pre-snap penalties and getting penalties, and they began to move our defensive line pretty much at will. If Jalen Carter or Jordan Davis wasn't in the game and it was Ajomo and Byron Young, they would have those guys on skates. And even when Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter was in the game, they were taking one side, and so therefore the double team would just push them into the different gap and then get up onto the linebacker, and they would have holes in the middle of the defense. They did a great job on their double teams, and the Broncos offensive line pretty much dominated the game, especially in the run game. And also something that really, really bothers me is that the Broncos were in crack splits, meaning there's going to be a toss, like a toss crack, a play outside. Pat Bryant was that guy most of the time where he was cracking on the defensive end or the end man on the line of scrimmage. Do you know Pat Bryant was successful on that play 3 times, right? So he was able to get the ball outside of our defense because the receiver was blocking a defensive end. Normally when you get a crack split, everyone yells crack, 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 and the defensive end lines up outside of the receiver, and therefore it's a negative play because you can't block that defensive end from outside of him. He'll get up the field and you as a receiver not being strong enough. But he was blocking Uche one-on-one, and they were getting to the edges, whether it was a sweep, whether it was a toss, whatever it was, they got to the edge at will, and those were some big plays. Also, Quinyon Mitchell struggled late in the game. Just talk about the tale of 2 different games, right? Or not 2 different games. Yeah, 2 different games in this situation, but also 2 weeks. Him being on cloud 9 after locking up Ibuka last week. And then you get to this game, you're doing well for 3 quarters against Cortland Sutton, who's a big physical receiver, very underrated, uses his size. Bo Nix gives him chance after chance. But you get in late in the game where you need stops, and they depend on Sutton to get first downs. And Quinyon, in each and every one of those moments, Sutton caught the ball late. You're talking about 90 yards in the 4th quarter for him, and 6 catches all on Quinyon in critical moments. He showed up in those critical moments. Cortland Sutton did, and Quinyon looked like he had his rookie moment, which he's not a rookie. And he didn't have many last year, but this was one of those moments he can look at and realize that you better be humble, focus in this league, because the next receiver can be a baller. And Cortland Sutton balled out in the waning moments of that game. And he's probably one of the biggest reasons the Eagles lost that game, because we didn't have an answer on 3rd downs in order to stop Cortland Sutton. What else about the defense? Just costly penalties. The Bond penalty, we got some calls didn't go our way. The strip sack didn't go our way. The intentional grounding didn't go our way, but some did go our way. Keely Ringo could have been called for holding, 3-4 times. So it kind of balanced itself out. So I'm not going to blame the penalties, but I will say is that we need to fix our run game. Defensive tackles have to show up. We can't stop the run unless we have 5 in the box. And also, and in those critical moments, we can't have penalties in order to stop us. But overall, the defense only gave up 21 points. So I can't go in heavily on the defense. 21 points, you're supposed to win that game. Any team that's giving up 21 points, your offense should get more than 21. So defense overall, I say played well, especially for 3 quarters. And in that 4th quarter, because they were on the field, because the offense did not sustained drives. They were on the field in the second half 8 minutes more than the offense was. The defense was on the field entirely too long in that second half, and it cost us. That's my synopsis of the game defensively.